Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Busan in, oh, you can't see it, in South Korea. Take my word for it. South Korea. This is the south of the Korean peninsula. Busan being located in the southwest over here of that peninsula. Let me slide over, please. South Korea. There we go. Busan, which a quick note about its name. As you can see here, it also lists it as Busan, right? Now, number one is that I always pronounce places around the world in their American English version, right? So that everything is uniform. And in American English, it is Busan. Busan. In Korean, the sound for B and P are the same. It's Busan. Busan. So it's halfway between the letter B. It's not a B, B, or a P, P. It's soft. Busan. So throughout history, it's been known by both names in English. Mainly during the Korean War, it was known as Busan, and you'll hear me refer to it as that when we're talking about the Korean War. But today, it's mostly known as Busan in English. So that's how I'm going to say it. I don't know Korean, but I can read it and pronounce it. So I might slip up some pronunciations and pronounce it Busan. But I'm going to stick to Busan as much as possible, just to keep it, uniform throughout my channel. There is not much to say about the geography of Busan because it's pretty much just this area here. We'll talk about why that is in its history. It is very mountainous, though. The Korean peninsula, all the way up into China and even a bit into Russia up there on North Korea's border. It's an incredibly mountainous corner of the world, incredibly mountainous peninsula, and Busan is no exception. There are mountains coming along here, almost up to the coast here. Busan is South Korea's largest port, and it is the second largest city, of course, after Seoul, which is how we say it in American English, or in Korean it would be Seoul, right? Seoul. In English, it's Seoul. Second largest city. So it's not much else to say about geography besides that. There's islands, there's beaches, and the mountain peaks throughout. And we are along the Korea Strait. You can see right here. You can see Tsushima Island, or the Tsushima Islands belonging to Japan. Not too far off, which is going to be pretty important to its history. Let's talk about the history here. This area was once part of a very ancient empire known as the Gaya. That's another sound in Korean, that G and K, that are different in English but the same in Korea, so it's the Gaya. But that empire would eventually be conquered by, as we'd say in English, the Silla, or in Korean, the Sira kingdom, which was one of the three great kingdoms of the Korean peninsula, which would eventually go on to conquer the entire peninsula at its height. The city throughout the different eras of Korea's history was always an important little seaside area and officially opened up as a port in 1423. I think during the reign of King Sejong, I believe. Very prosperous time in Korea's history during the Joseon period, right? I believe so. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's right. Many times the Japanese came knocking along the coasts of the Korean peninsula, curious and warlike, because it was feudal Japan. They had one thing on their mind, and that was warfare and feuds. They launched a huge invasion on Korea in the 1590s, mainly centered on the area here. They invaded and sacked Busan in 1592. But there were multiple different invasions, which pretty much wound up in, Japan retreating, but coming to this agreement that they would work together, mostly to the benefit of Japan, which was far more politically powerful than Korea at the time. Korea was a very strong nation, but it was pretty insular, right? Japan was also very insular, but yeah, it's kind of hard to compare the two cultures at this time because they were kind of in two different mindsets. I'm going to stop rambling and stick to my script. It mainly benefited Japan. So the Tsushima Islands you can see down here was the midway point between the port of Fukuoka down there. Fukuoka in English. I also speak a bit of Japanese. My bad. Fukuoka and the port of Busan here. Now, it would kind of just be very exclusive, very minimal trade with Japan, and that was it. They wouldn't start opening up to more worldwide trade until 1876, when they slowly but surely expanded their trade with Japan and also started to trade at this port with China and the UK. And eventually were able to open up this port area to the rest of the world in 1883. Still a very, very big port to this day. We're going to skip ahead to the Korean War, which is weird because we're skipping a whole chapter of Korea's history, where Japan invaded and occupied the peninsula for quite a while until the end of World War II. But Busan's history is more relevant in the aftermath of that, in the Korean War. So, the Soviet Union invaded the Korean peninsula from the north to fight the Japanese. The US invaded from the south. So when it came time to figure out what to do with this area after the Japanese were forced out, the south was more Western, Americanized ideals, and the north was more Soviet, I guess Eastern style, Soviet style ideas, aka more communism, right? And this would be more of I wouldn't say capitalism, not at this time, eventually, but not at this time, but more Western mindset, anti whatever was happening in the north, essentially. That would eventually culminate in the north launching a massive invasion against the south in 1950. North Korea swept almost down this entire peninsula, conquering and invading as they went, very quickly, very abruptly. But they never managed to conquer Busan and Daegu, but they never made it to this area to take over. So this area really became the big base of operations. There was a big battle. It was called the Battle of the Busan Perimeter in 1950, which the United Nations troops won and managed to keep the North Koreans out. And slowly but surely for the next 3 years, they would push the North Korean military back up to the line that you can't see. I gotta stop reaching up that high. You can't see the border up there, but to that parallel over there. And that's the border today. The Korean War was never officially ended. It is in a ceasefire since 1953. It's a big deal in Korea, in North and South Korea. Could technically spark up at any moment, but it won't. Every man in both nations are conscripted into the military at a certain age, and that way they have a standing army in case anything should happen. And tensions are still high. It wavers, but it's still a threat. The war technically is not over, but the battles are. South Korea post-conflicts, not post-war, because again, remember, the war is technically not over. Post-conflicts did not fare very well. There was plenty of corruption in the governments. Most notoriously in the 1970s, we had the reign of President Park Chung-hee. In October of 1979, here in Busan, there was a huge uprising known as the Busan Musan, or the Pumu uprising, that lasted a few days. The government very brutally put it down, very cruelly put it down. But days after that, President Park was assassinated. So there we go. Kind of opening the door toward a more democratic society, toward a more capitalistic society. Because if you guys don't know, you see South Korea today, you would never know that in the 50s and 60s, it was pretty much a third world country. People starving, jobless, all of that, with plenty of corruption up at the top. You would never guess that nowadays, because during the 1980s, South Korea really began to flourish. One of the tigers, they call it, of East Asia and Southeast Asia, where their economy just absolutely boomed, right? And today, South Korea looks like pretty much any other modernized East Asian country. Like places in China, you got Hong Kong, you've got places in Japan like Tokyo, you've got Singapore down there. You could compare the major cities in South Korea to any of those easily, right? So Busan is no exception. It has absolutely flourished. The port is ever expanding. There's big high-rises, luxury. Alongside all of the tradition, there are still plenty of beautiful historic temples throughout this area. And just a lot of history has remained. It's pretty neat. That is essentially the history of the city of Busan. I forgot to tell you why it's just the city, and that's because of the Korean War, how this was locked down, this area here. It was a big refugee place for the many people who lost their homes during the invasion. And it was locked down by the UN forces to keep out the North Koreans. So when it was time to draw lines on the map after the fact, after the border was established between North and South, Busan just remained its own thing. Of course, me being a huge K-pop stan, one of my favorite facts is all of the K-pop stars that come out of Busan. I'm a 21 stan forever. I'm a Blackjack for life. This is where Dara is from. Gosh, who else? There's so many from AOA, and Nina's from there. I love AOA. They're no more, but you can tell I'm a second gen stan, if you know what that means. But probably, Winter from aespa is from here. Love aespa. But, of course, one of my favorite K-pop stars is my special boy, my golden maknae, Jungkook, is from Busan. Park Jimin is also from Busan, Jimin from BTS. But Jungkook is that's my boy. I started listening to BTS, 2015? 10 years ago. My gosh. He was still just a teenager back then, and that's how I still think of him, even though he's very much not. He's very much grown. He's still my boy. Anyway, that is essentially the history of Busan. There's many other K-pop stars. Of course, I can't think of any of them right now. But yeah. Why don't we hop over to Google Earth and check out this beautiful city on my tablet. Here we are in Busan. But let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here's the Korean Peninsula. There's North Korea up there. South Korea down there. You can see Jeju Island right there. If we zoom out some more, you can see that we are not terribly far from Japan. And quite close to China there, right? Russia's up there. I just realized that on my channel, every place I covered was in Asia, but like very different parts of Asia. We went to Thailand, Turkey, Russia, now Korea. The next place we're going is Iran, so we're still in Asia. But very different parts of Asia, huh? We're in East Asia now. East Asia, this area here. But yeah. Seoul is up here. Busan's down here. You can see Busan Port right there. Let's go take a look at this busy area. Lots of construction going on, as we can see. Looks like they're building the opera house here. I guess Sydney, eat your heart out. They even got like a harbor bridge right there. We'll look at that in a second. Just funny because I was watching tourist videos, and the one I watched was one of the tourists was from Brazil, and this place reminded her a lot of Rio in that it's on the hillside with the beaches and the big city. But look at how busy. Look at all these ships stacked up. Gosh. So busy. And then all the containers ready. Whoa. All these containers. It's crazy. It's a huge port. But yeah, here's the harbor bridge. Kind of like the more iconic bridge, gets all lit up. All big and bustling city. All lit up at night. You can see the mountains in the background. A big, beautiful bridge. All kinds of colors that can light up. While we're over here, we have to remember where it is. Over here, right? No. Not this beach. This beach. This is the famous one. This is Hayden Beach. It is apparently the best beach in Korea. I don't know if that counts, if Jeju counts in that, but that's what I've read. Look, sorry. See what I mean when talking about Hong Kong and Singapore? Gorgeous, gorgeous city. Oh, we got some sand art too. Hayden Beach. Yeah, the one tourist video I saw, she was like, yeah, it's like Copacabana here. Can see the big skyscrapers in the background. Oh, look at this for the Expo 2030. Expo 2030 is pretty much like, you know, the World's Fair. You've heard about the World's Fair. It's now never called that anymore. It goes by different names. So that's in 2030. That's where the World's Fair is going to be. And here in Busan. Wonder how that will go. But yeah, that's the beach. So pretty in the morning light there. We got these big skyscrapers here. Busan X the sky. Very distinct. Actually, if I show you... Oh, but real quick. You gotta see the Mipo station. Look at these little things. And they go around on the little tracks. They're so cute. They're adorable. Anyway, I can show you better. There's the red lady there. Hold on. And the leaping man. From here, from this park, I think I can show you a better view of over there. But I don't remember which slideshow it was. Maybe this one. Oh, that's one of the statues, the mermaid statues. She's a mermaid princess. Can we see? Look how pretty. There we go. The big buildings and the statues out there. Oh, pretty. But yeah. You look at those. The leaping man. Not a very good photo, but there he goes. And there's an airplane flying by, I'm sorry. Here's the red lady. Looks like the paintress in Expedition 33 from afar. Anyone else playing that game? It's amazing. Anyway. gosh, what else to show you? There's so much to show you in this city. My goodness. Where to start? Where to start? All of these are wonderful, by the way. As always, I highly encourage you to come to Busan here on Google Earth and poke around for yourself, because you can find all sorts of neat stuff around here. We're going to look at... Goodness, I can't even decide what to show you. Let's go to the mountains first. Let's look at this waterfall. Oh, how beautiful. Wow, so you can see the city in the distance there. That's what's kind of neat about this place, is that you can go from just huge, sprawling city by the ocean shore, and then just come a couple steps and just be completely immersed in beautiful nature. Not a lot of places can say that. Pretty remarkable. I want to show you this mountain first. This one, right? I believe it's this one. This is... It'll pop up in a second. I don't remember the name of the mountain, but there is one here that said its name, and I've forgotten it, and it's not popping up. It's not popping up. Let me see. Let's read the peak. Baekhyongsan. Baekhyongsan. Gorgeous though. Oh, it's so pretty. Cool rocks. You know how much I love cool rocks. Pretty great. None of the things I wanted to show you. Maybe I'm on the wrong mountain. Oh, you know what? There we go. Was it this way? Samgwangsa was one of the places I wanted to show you, but it's not the place I wanted to show you. Look how beautiful this temple is. All the lanterns. Definitely during a big festival. It's Kuan Yin. Beautiful Buddhas. Steps, lotus flowers, lanterns. And Busan's really known for a lot of festivals, mainly the Busan Film Festivals. What comes to mind first, but I could have sworn it was this mountain. I wanted to show you. Oh, here it is. This one? No. Gyeongchunsan is the mountain. No, it was over here. It was over here. It was over here. Ha ha. This one. This is the oldest temple in Busan. Back from the... Oh man, my tablet's crashing. Back from the era of the Sira Kingdom. 1 second. I finally found this temple and then it crashes on me. But yeah, stunning, stunning, stunning. Whoa. How pretty. Of course, they got lots of lanterns too. The beautiful nature. Big old trees. Gorgeous. Oh, look in the autumn. Oh, that's so pretty. Bamboo forest. Classic. You got the turtle with the world on his back. Some old Korean mythology there. Looks like graves there. Because speaking of graves, we should look at the memorial, even though I'm trying not to tap on grave sites, because then Google Earth thinks I really want to see grave sites. I have it saved on here somewhere. Hold on 1 second. Here it is. Just so I'm not wandering around the town. Yeah, it's way over here. The memorial cemetery for those who lost their lives during that Battle of Busan Perimeter and the Korean War in general. There's lots of beautiful memorials for those soldiers here as well. Looks like a chapel. And yeah, you can see the flags of various nations that participated, their soldiers at least, for the United Nations. Look at that. Really beautiful area. Very respectful. Look at this big old beautiful park. There's the actual cemetery there, and all the memorials over here. Let's look over at this part of town. The Peace Hall is also quite nice. I feel like all the things I wanted to show you aren't appearing. Look at, there's even more containers down here. Oh my god, there's even more containers. Big shipping area, right? Look, there's even more over here. Oh my goodness. The Busan Museum. Let's check that out. Nice old statues, artwork. Oh, that's pretty. A big modern city today. Beautiful jars and pots. Lots of nice outdoor space too. Wow, look at the old armor. That's incredible. Very happy Buddha there. A very solemn statue there. You see lots of stuff like that in Jeju. Let's see. Alright, that's where we started. So we come down here. This is a big spot that's been recommended to me a lot, the Gamcheon Culture Village. Just a spot high up, which when I was watching that tourist video, she's like, it's a favela. I'm in Rio again, but everything is Korean. Which, yeah, there's the Grand Budapest Hotel. There's a lot of Little Prince themed things here, which is interesting. I love Little Prince. It just feels kind of random, doesn't it? But it's all very colorful, lots of beautiful art, photo opportunities. There's my boy. That's Jimin and Jungkook. That's my boy. I'm so proud of him. That's my baby boy. There's all kinds of neat art up here. The little artwork there of the houses on the hillside. Pretty cool. Goodness, this is the other main beach down there that I almost showed you, but goodness, where's all the I'm like lost. Goodness, all the things I wanted to show you, I can't remember where they are. Like there's more museums there. You can look at Busan Tower. Ta-da! There it is. Busan Tower. You get a nice big view of the city. You see the bridge, all the big buildings there. Pretty cool. Busan Tower. Oh, look at that view. That's beautiful. That is just gorgeous. Very neat. Yeah, I just feel like all the things that I thought, oh, I need to show them this, and this, I've completely blanked where they are. Like, where did Texas Street go? There's the Book Street. Like, there's lots of neat little just, look at that, so cool. The Book Street. There's lots of neat little shopping streets. It's so neat. This place is just a fun little maze of all kinds of everything, right? Color Village. More beautiful neighborhoods. Look at all the street art there. So cool. But yeah, like always, I would encourage you to come check this place out for yourself. It's like how busy, bustling it is. Here's another cool art street, a little alleyway. Look at that view. Look at that hill. Oh, good luck. Your calves will be dying by the time you get up all those stairs. Thankfully, there's a little, what are these called? You know what they're called. There's a little tram friend that'll get you up to the top if the steps are too much. Funicular, that's the word, right? Oh wow. There's Texas Street. Another fun little street. So you think like Chinatown, how it's all just like very stereotypical Chinese. Texas Street is the opposite. It's very Western themed. By West, I mean like not like yeehaw, but like West. The West. Of course, none of the pictures I want to like this. I guess it's a little bit yeehaw, just a little bit, but it's like it's a gimmicky street. It's a little bit yeehaw, but it's a gimmicky, another fun, artsy shopping street. It's the history of it, and then the supermarket. Skyway Observatory. Let's see this view. Oh my goodness. It's such a pretty city. I mean, I see that and then it's like, it is nice, but then Seoul is like 10 times that. It's so neat. There's a Running Man place. Running Man is a variety show in Korea. You can experience it there. There's a cafe street. Look how fun. It's like you could just get lost in this little maze of all these fun little eccentric streets with their own little themes. It's so great. It's $5 there. There's the Lotte Mart. Oh, there's lots of world here. Make sure before I leave here there wasn't anything else I wanted to show you. I mean, there's all kinds. There's so much. Lots of worlds over here. What do I compare Lotte to? I guess kind of like, I guess in America we have Hershey Park, which is based on the chocolate bars, which like Hershey, I believe, is owned by Nestle, which is this huge conglomeration that owns all kinds of companies, not just food, but like everything. I guess that's like Lotte. It's a conglomeration, but I believe Lotte is chocolate, right? Like just the name Lotte, but yep, they have a huge theme park. There's Lotte World. Lotte World Busan, because there's one in Seoul too, I believe. Or at least near Seoul. Look at this view. Goodness, I should probably end it here. I know there's other things I wanted to show you. If there's anything, once I stop recording and I'm like, oh snap, I forgot. I had to show them that, I completely forgot. Then I will put it in the comments. I'll pin it there so that you guys can check it out yourself. But yeah, that's what I get for just meandering around Busan without making a plan and being like, oh, this is so cool. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, this is so cool. I see there's the Lotte outlets. But yeah, this is Busan. Pretty incredible place. So if you ever do get to go to Korea, don't just visit Seoul, or if you're on vacation, don't just go to Jeju. Check out Busan. There's so much happening here. It's so busy. Look at the little stream going through the town here. Let's end it on this slideshow. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. Like I said, next we're heading over to Iran, and I don't know, I nerd out over Iran. Iran's one of those places that the Google Earth pictures are just so beautiful. I'm always floored by them. So be sure to subscribe so you won't miss out. Also, next week on my channel, we are finishing the bees. We have 3 bees left. Can you believe it? We'll head on to the seas. Can you believe it? I can't. It's crazy. Anyway, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Who's your BTS bias? Let me know. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational, and I hope that you have a good